Hey guys, it's Darcy Simmer, and today I have another speed build for you guys. I know it's not the next part to Let's Build Newcrest, but I'm taking a little bit of a break from that for a couple of weeks to let my brain refresh so I can get some more ideas for the rest of the neighborhoods and stuff. But today I have for you a vampire manor, and that is literally what this build is called. You can download the exterior from my gallery. My origin ID is in the description. So this part is just the exterior because I will be splitting it into two parts. So the next part will be the interior, and I wanted to split it up into two parts because this build is a little bigger than what I usually do. So the video is split up 6 times and it's 18 minutes long, and that's just with the exterior and the landscaping. So you can download the exterior and landscaping from a gallery. And as I said, this build is called Vampire Manor, and it has 2 lot traits, which is registered vampire lair and vampire nexus. And the exterior with landscaping and stuff, price came to 124,956 simoleons, so it is a little bit on the pricey side. So you'll either have to cheat or have a very rich family to live here, unfortunately. And it is on a 40 by 30 lot that I built it on the big lot in the new town, Forgotten Hollow, and I just evicted the guy who lived there because why not? And the inspiration for this build, I wanted it to kind of look gothic architecture. What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm talking about, right? Of course, probably, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I wanted it to look like gothic style, so I was kind of inspired by my sister and I have been watching Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events, the TV show, and I really love the movie, so it's kind of inspired by that kind of style and architecture of Count Olaf's mansion house thing. I don't know what it's referred to, but yeah, I never read the books, but I really loved the movie, and I'm liking the series so far. And I was also inspired by like Tim Burton type movies because he's my favorite person ever, pretty much. And so I was debating on whether or not I wanted to build Edward Scissorhands' castle, and I decided against that because I did build it in The Sims 3 a long time ago for a Sims fan magazine thing that I built things for and stuff. So I didn't really want to do that again because that took forever, and I wasn't that happy with the way it turned out because, you know, Sims 3, it took forever, and by the end of it I got really bored with it and really frustrated with it because of the lag, and it just turned out bad, and I didn't want to go through that. And so I just looked on Google for gothic style manors, mansions, things, and I found the front part of a house that I based this off of. It's not exact, obviously, because you can't really get an exact replica in The Sims, but I did try, and I did use a bunch of the new vampire stuff, which I really loved. The wall things, I guess they're wall decals, I don't know, but they're like the cracks and rips and stuff in the walls, which would have came really handy for my Build Newcrest series, at least the first part, the first few builds I did, you know, because it's in a really gross looking neighborhood and it would have been perfect. But unfortunately I did not have this pack at the time because it was not out. I wanted to try to make it look a little more ornate, so I did add these columns on like the corners of each of the walls on the outside, so that was fun. And here I couldn't find a 3-wide door that fit, so I put this 1-wide door, and then later on I did find a 3-wide door that came with the stuff pack. So that's what I use instead. I do believe it's for the second wall height. So I put a second wall height door on a first wall height wall, which, you know, I mean, it works. I mean, there's just a little bit sticking up, but you can't really see it because of the roof. So yeah, I put like an archway entrance in the front of the house. And that little platform thing, I did not forget about it. It is a gazebo, which I go to later on. And in the backyard there's like a little garden area where you can just sit and do whatever, maybe add an easel or two, so if your vampire likes to paint at night in the garden or something. And then on one side of the backyard there's a gazebo, and on the other side there's a graveyard because, it's meant to be creepy and stuff. So, yeah, I took that idea from the Addams Family because they got like this graveyard thing in the backyard, right? Of course they do. Probably. I don't remember, haven't saw it in a long time. But I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, because they like to golf in the graveyard or garden or something. I don't know. But, yeah. Here I'm just going through fixing all the windows, which, for a vampire house, it's probably a lot of windows, but I do like to use a lot of windows. So that's what I did. And there's a two-stair entrance thing there, which I like. I don't, actually, yeah, I think I've done that once for my orphanage build. I think, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah. And here I am working on the gazebo. I was going to have it in the middle and like have a little pathway to it, but the lot wasn't big enough for the idea I had, so I moved it over here to the corner. And it took me quite a bit of finagling to fix the roof, and it turns out pretty decent, I guess, but it did take me a while to get there. And it was very annoying and frustrating, but it turned out pretty well in the end. So yeah, and I'm deleting the roof again. So yeah, I believe this is the roof that I end up sticking with. Yeah, this is definitely the roof I end up with because it looked a little more gothic than what I was going for, so that's what I decided to go with. And then I don't really decorate the gazebo too much because there wasn't really much I could find to go in a gazebo, so it's really just 3 benches are in there, and that's pretty much it because I couldn't find anything else to go in there. But, if you guys have any ideas, then maybe I can add it to the next part, which the next part will be going up next Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, in place of my Build Newcrest series, this will be going up Tuesday, and then next week I'm not going to have the next part to my Build Newcrest series because Friday I'm doing another collaboration video type thing, game, challenge, whatever, with my sister. So yeah, that's going up Friday. And then so this will just be 2 parts. It's not going to be like carried on for like 3-4 parts like the Cormorant renovation or the townhouse build for The Sims 3, because this is not The Sims 3 and things go a lot more faster in this game. Sims 3. Also, in case you guys haven't noticed, I'm not doing any Sims 3 videos recently, and there's none on my schedule. And the reason for that is because every time I start up my game, it crashes. Well, it doesn't really crash, it just turns off because I don't know why. I have to record it in windowed mode because otherwise the video is really, really dark. So whenever I record it in windowed mode, for some reason it gets to where it's just about into the game after going through the loading screen, the whole find these items or whatever, and you get life points or satisfaction points, lifetime aspiration, what? I don't know, but yeah, once it gets to the end of that or near the end of that, and I'm like, okay, awesome, let's prepare, I'm gonna do this is gonna be awesome, it's gonna be a great build, I've got my sketches, I've got my color palettes, okay, let's do this, and then I get really excited about it, and then it just goes away. I don't know why. It doesn't tell me why. There's no notifications or anything. It just shuts off, and it really, really irks me. So I'm not dealing with it right now because I'm just on a laptop, a stupid little laptop. Well, it's not a stupid laptop because I love my laptop, but with Sims 3 it's stupid because Sims 3 is stupid with everything apparently, and it hates my computer, and it hates all my computers, which I'm just really frustrated with Sims 3 right now, so I'm not building anything in the Sims 3 at this moment. But I am going to be getting a new gaming computer soon, so maybe then if it works a little bit better, I will attempt doing some Sims 3 builds then, because I really do want to finish my Zodiac starter home series, because I did attempt a Zodiac starter home series before, way before I started YouTube, and way before The Sims 4 ever came out. So yeah, and I ended up not finishing that either because it got frustrating, and The Sims 3 hates my computer, and The Sims 3 hates me apparently because it always crashes or something. So yeah, anyway, enough about that. Here I am just adding ivy and stuff because I felt like the exterior really needed something more than what I gave it. So I found these little things in the window. I don't know if it's window decorations, exterior decorations. I don't really know what that little thing's called, but I'm gonna call it wall decorations. So yeah, that's what I added, a bunch of ivy and stuff. It was great. So yeah, I really love the new ivy and stuff that came with the vampire stuff pack. So if you like that sort of thing, this would be a really great pack. If you like building, I would definitely recommend this pack because it has a lot of items that work really well with the spooky stuff or with get together, which I did use a lot of get together and spooky stuff. And I think the foundation stuff that I used came with like the pattern around the foundation. I think it came with outdoor retreat, so it also goes pretty well with that. Yeah, I didn't really know what to do with the little gardeny areas, which I wanted a lot of plants in this build, and I was just gonna line them with some plants, but I couldn't really find a plant that worked well with it, so I just decided to line all of the little garden areas with rocks. You know, the Sims are going to be trapped within the confinement of the rocks, but it's fine. They have doors, they have a front door, and I did not block it off, so it's fine. They'll get through it okay. Okay. Yeah, and I really like this plant that came with the vampire stuff, the little fern looking thing. I guess it's fern, I really don't know. But I like it. It's like really colorful and pink and green and, well, I guess that's really the only color, so it's not that colorful. But I like it better than the other ferns that we have in the game. Are the ferns? I don't know. But yeah, I did use a lot of the plants that came with it because they looked kind of gross and stuff. And you know, vampires probably wouldn't be out during the daytime to, take care of the garden. And they probably wouldn't want a bunch of people around their house snooping, so I figured they probably wouldn't want to hire a gardener or anything. So I did try to use some gross looking plants and stuff, but then I couldn't find any other plants to go with it, so I did use these little I don't know, they're like creepy vine things or something. I don't know, creeper. I don't know what they're called, but I used them, and it's like I'm pretending they're like fake plants that they put in there to give the illusion that sometimes they might take care of their garden, which, really they don't because they're vampires. They don't go out during the day, at least in my experience. They don't go out during the day because they will burn alive. But yeah, that's what I did, and I like the way the garden turned out. I think I need to add a few more plants or something of different heights to make it look a little bit nicer, but I might do that in the next part, so probably do some tweaking on the exterior. And here I'm just going to work on the graveyard. I put down all the tombstones and picked my favorite ones, and yeah. And then I did place a light under the tombstones, which I thought they'd make them look glowy and stuff, but they don't, so that kind of sucks. But I did what I could, and for whatever reason, well, I guess it's because of the terrain that is in this particular neighborhood, the terrain paints don't really show up very well. So I mean, that's kind of a negative, but I mean, you can it basically just looks like the tombstones have a shadow instead of looking like someone's actually buried there. So yeah. My sister was here whenever I was building this, and I asked her if it was morbid or sad that I add a bunny rabbit to one of the tombstones, like, it was a child. Which, I mean, yeah, obviously it's kind of sad, and, well, I thought I added more of a story, like it is a family graveyard or something, and, like, maybe a child stayed out in the sun too long or something, because, it's kids, they want to go outside and play. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of sad to think about, but, I mean, they're vampires. It's bound to happen, right? Probably. So, yeah, and I probably should have added more to the backyard, honestly, but I couldn't really think of anything that would go there besides plants, and I put a lot of plants, and I don't really like the plants, so if you guys have any idea on what I can do for the back porch here, let me know, because I'd love to do something different. And here I just added these things that came with romantic garden stuff, and I think I put a little statue, or yeah, I put the fountain inside of it. which I thought looked pretty cool in the backyard, and I wanted it to look like a really nice looking garden. Well, kind of a rundown garden, but also nice. Like, you know, they tried at one point. So that's what I did. And, oh yeah, I decided this house needed a pond because I wanted one. And that's what I did. So here I am just building this pond. And I was going to put that thick border around it, but I just didn't think it looked right. So I add these rocks all around it, and then I use the thinner one to hide the white areas that are kind of sticking out from beneath the rocks. Right there, you can see, yeah. And the bigger one just kind of stuck out from the other side of the rocks, and it didn't look right. So, yeah, I just did that. I put 2 little bubbly things in there, which I haven't really paid much attention to those in live mode. What is that mode called? I don't know. I call it live mode, but everything I watch calls it live mode. I prefer live mode, so that's what I'm gonna call it. And so, yeah, it took a while to add all these lights and stuff, because I also hide some lights under the ivy and stuff on the walls, because I felt like it needed to be lit up more. And, you know, it'll probably be lit up a little bit better once I get the interior finished and furnished and lights in there and stuff. So, you know, this is probably pointless, but, you know, it's fine, right? Of course. So, yeah, I'm just adding lights behind all the ivy, and it took a really long time. Maybe I should change the color of the lighting, actually. Make it, like, a red or something. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I might try that. But, yeah. It did take me a while to light up some of the areas, because I had to, like, hide the lights so you couldn't really see them. And they're, like, sticking out of some of the windows, so I have to go back and fix those. And it just took a really long time. I was going to put one in the middle of that little circle window, but it looked weird, so I didn't put it there. But, yeah, I believe we are almost finished. I think, yeah, after I add the lights, I don't think there's too much else I did. So, I am going, oh, here's where I added the lights to those. Oh, I also added, like, a little basement area with a fireplace, with, like, chimneys underneath. And then I added a fireplace inside and had my sim light it, so you'll see that here in just a bit. And then, yeah, I put these little chimneys because they, like, make smoke look like it's coming out of the ground, which it looks pretty cool. So that's what I did. And I was very confused as to why she was going to the backyard to go into the house. And I thought the front door wasn't functional, but then I remembered there's no door into the fireplace room. But, you know, and yeah, now I'm just tweaking this. So the screenshots are coming up in just a few minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and end the voiceover here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, please, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next part. Bye!